Hey guys, welcome to the Geedunk. I'm Josh.
And I'm Billy.
And I'm Ashley.
And today we're talking Survivor premiere.
Yeah, you ready for Survivor action, baby.
What's your guys' history? With
my first foray. Is that a word, foray?
Yeah, sure.
I
guess you said it
sure.
once
It's
before,
my word
so
now
it's got to be
anyway.
right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if I can make up any word I want to. It's our show.
Yeah,
So,
it's the first.
Yeah. My first time, just like our Big Brother episodes, is my first season of Big Brother. Now these clowns got me into the first season of Survivor. So
40 years later or whatever, 20 years later
yeah.
from it.
Now,
right.
the difference for
40,
us
41
here is
seasons
we're
later.
fairly new to Survivor, too. Like, Big Brother,
pro.
I've watched in season 2. I kind of dragged him into it maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago as far as Big Brother goes. But Survivor, we didn't really get into that until the pandemic. We were kind of stuck at home for a little while and just looking for things to watch. And we're like, hey, let's watch an old season. And then we were, like, hooked.
Which is funny because, like, a lot of the people taking place in this season are saying the same thing. Oh, you saved me during the pandemic, Survivor. Like, I wouldn't have made it without watching your show,
True.
you know?
It's true.
It's just like, what? It's a damn show. You know?
Survivor is kind of like religion, Billy.
Yeah, evidently,
Saves
man.
people. Okay.
I mean,
But anyways, I got my rum breeze with black cherry in it, so I'm ready to go. Got my tiki glass. I'm ready for some Survivor.
Yeah, man.
Wait,
Yeah.
you-
We got Tiki Glasses Survivor.
you have alcohol in yours?
Maybe.
Oh, no.
It could be a Shirley Temple rum breeze.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
He's so lightweight over here.
Yeah.
So
One
this,
drink.
This
By the end of
season
this.
is kind of interesting because they're showing a little bit more behind the scenes with like the people filming it and things like that. What'd you think about that?
They're definitely trying to change it up. I don't
Show
know.
a little drone action.
Right.
Yeah, that's
I'm
cool.
not
I like
sure
that.
what's behind the whole revealing behind the scenes because, and I've seen articles about like how they film the show because when you see these challenges, they do these like overhead shots and they're all out on this like island or like raft and there's no cameraman or anything, but yet they're filming everything. So they somehow edit all that stuff out.
Right.
But now they
make
seem
it
to be
normally
showing that now.
seem like they're very isolated.
Right.
So
Oh, they're totally not.
Yeah.
Well, obviously,
I mean, when they were
but they
showing-
go to great lengths in the past
Make it-
to
make
not
it look
show
that way.
even like camera crew
Right.
or nothing.
Yeah, when they like showed you the camera crew this time, like just how many people are actually there on that island with them, and there's probably like 100 people. For
Yeah, there's like 20
making
people
the show.
behind Jeff. Like,
Right.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, I don't know why I guess they're trying to be transparent or inclusive of everyone that contributes to the show, maybe.
Yeah.
maybe
I
it's
don't
coming
know.
to an end, and they're like, we got to give credit to other people finally or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Who knows?
No, not to an end. I just got into it.
Well, you got 40 something seasons to watch,
Yeah.
but what'd you guys think
41.
about this cast?
What?
Have you guys found anyone to latch onto?
Yeah,
or
I like
who are you
Danny right
latching
now.
onto?
I like Danny, the football player dude right now. That's,
Yeah, the football player guy's kinda cool.
Kind of rooting for Danny. Like you got a lot of not so good people that in this cast that I.
What makes them not so
So-
good?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
It seems like there's a lot of weak people, man. It just didn't seem like it was very.
They're usually all.
Didn't
You got an NFL guy, man.
Yeah,
He's
but-
for you.
Yeah, but you got like him and a couple other people
Sometimes
that feel
those
like they
weak
can hold their
people
own.
become pretty dang
but-
strong, though.
And then
Like-
one of the thing is, then you got these weak people talking crap about other people already. This is, it's week one, and they're already like, oh, we need to get so and so out of here. It's like,
Hey, it's
like you can't freaking lift 2 pounds.
accelerated
Like, get out of here.
season.
Yeah, that I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I feel like if I were on this season, I mean, granted, there seems to be a lot more challenging things going on, and it's like you said, accelerated. So there's less downtime between challenges and everything that they're doing. But the big thing, it seems to be every season we've watched, is the 39 days. We've made it to 39 days. Now it's like 26, I think.
Yeah, 26 days.
So
Yeah, I'm
I
kinda
feel like it would
disappointed in
kind of be
that.
gypped
Yeah,
if
well,
I
I don't
won
know why
this
they
season.
did
Be
that.
like, I'm not sure why either.
What I will say though is, it's cool that you get. We get 4 events. We got 4 events in this 2-hour premiere, so that was kind of cool. Hey, at least it's we get to see a lot of action going on a little bit here, and 4 events going on, and there's already a lot of scheming going on and stuff. So
And there's 2
So that was
celebrities on the
interesting,
show,
man.
right? There's the football player, and who else we got?
another celebrity. Oh yeah. Oh my God, Howard Stern, man, that's you, brother. You changed your name to Brad in the show, but I know darn well that's Howard Stern, man. I've seen Howard. That's him.
I like that guy, though.
Yeah, I like Howard too.
I like him, and I like JD and those guys.
Yeah,
I don't know anybody's name yet.
Yeah, so JD's the young
no
black
idea
kid.
who they're
JD's
talking
the young
about.
black kid. He's like 20, and he said, I guess he's probably one of the youngest people on the show. I guess he was saying that he thinks he's probably one of the youngest. And
Oh,
you know,
No,
was
he's not the
born-
youngest because they've had like I think an 18-year-old.
Yeah,
really?
but
Okay.
they
but
did.
he said he was born the year after Survivor started, right?
that's-
So,
yeah.
but I like that kid. I like the fact that he's energetic, but at the same time, that's going to be his downfall because he runs his mouth too much. You know, he talks too much to other people. He's trying to play the cool kid kind of thing right now with other people. Like, he's hitting on the pastor, you know, maybe the pastor, and he's like, yeah, I'm kind of a player.
He's hitting on
her.
You know?
Yeah, he told her he's like, yeah, I'm kind of a player. You know, when he was sitting there talking to her, and I was like, what? She's a freaking pastor, man.
They're on an island.
So it starts off, of course, they're on the boat, and they're organized in teams, and they have to find their paddles and then paddle the boat around a buoy to
there's
retrieve their
3
flint.
teams.
Mm-hmm.
So
and they're not broken out like in cool kind of things this season, which is kind of disappointing. I like when they do the theme breakouts.
Yeah. So they have the yellow, blue, and green. And I guess they did that earlier on because if you notice that all their clothing they were wearing matched their theme, so they probably said, hey, you need to bring a green
sometimes
outfit,
it's random, sometimes it's Gen X
they draw
versus,
the buffs and stuff like that.
Gen Z or whatever it is, but
right. So this was just, you know, they were assigned somehow, and maybe it was random at some point, but so they had to go find the oars in order to get in the boat to paddle out, and they had to find their team's colors. Yeah. And the yellow team.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, and it's funny because the one thing I will say, well, first of all, before they even kicked all that off, he gave his little spiel, you know, and he was like, and then he asked them, he's like, hey, everybody, you know, what's my catchphrase? And everybody's like, come on in, guys, or whatever it is this dude says all the time, right?
So now, hold on. You haven't watched previous seasons. Mm-hmm. We've watched maybe 4 seasons.
Man, probably more than that, but
maybe 5 seasons. I don't know. We watched them back to back, like over a couple month period. And every single episode, this guy's on the floor, on the couch, whatever, going, "Come on in, guys!" I don't know. You gotta say it in your voice. You're doing pretty good.
Go ahead. Let me hear it.
Come on in, guys.
That's not it. That's not it. But that is the catchphrase. That's it's like.
And evidently,
you wait to hear him say
evidently
it.
that has always been his catchphrase, from what I understand, what they were saying.
Yeah.
And you got a very diverse crowd this time. You got a couple. I guess you got 3 or 4 gay people in it this time, and you definitely got a good diverse crowd in this one. But
I will say their casts are always diverse. Like they're always pretty diverse.
Well, good.
Just so
There's someone for everyone.
Yeah, somebody for everybody, right to root for. So, but I mean, when I think of the word guys, and I think when most people think of the word guys, that's just an all-inclusive word, right? That's just
like a group of people.
You might as well say it's like me being for Texas saying y'all. You know, yeah, come on, y'all. You know, come on, guys. Same thing, right? No difference. It's a group of people. You know, and most people look at it that way, right? So when he says, hey, you know what? You know, we're in a new time, a new era now. You know, what do y'all, you know, I've always said, come on in, guys. So what do you guys think? You know, what do y'all think about the, you know, should I change it? And then one of the females speaks up, who's, you know, she's has a wife, you know, and she's like, you know, as a gay female, I don't have a problem with the word guys. I think it's fine. And everybody else is like, yeah, okay. He's like, all right, cool. All right, then, all right, guys, it's cool. All right, come on in, guys. And they play their event, you know.
In the context of Survivor, is a word like guys okay? Or is it time to retire that word? What do you think?
I personally think guys is okay. It's part of, you know, come in guys is like such a signature expression. And, you know, I, as a woman, as a queer woman, do not feel excluded by guys.
And, you know, but then later on in the episode,
the first time he says it.
Yeah, the first time he says it, and then Ricard, you know, this is day 2 now. And this guy Ricard.
I don't agree that we should use the word guys. Huh. I fully agree that we should change it, whether it just be dropping the guys, changing it to something else. I just don't really agree with it.
And then Jeff's like, hey, Ricard, I'm glad you spoke up because I don't like it either, man. And I actually was really thinking about changing it. And it's like, oh, really, Jeff? Because if you're thinking about changing it, you probably would have said that shit yesterday whenever you mentioned the word guys. So it's like, you know, I hate.
Here's my thing with it. Like, if you thought it needed to be changed, why didn't you just change to come on in, everyone, and then it wouldn't have been
why make a big deal
thing or something?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why
I don't know if it was a big deal, honestly. I mean, obviously, people who like the show and that's his catchphrase are maybe going to have feelings about it. I couldn't care less what he says in the beginning of this thing.
Clearly, this has been mentioned to him or tweeted at him. He mentioned his Twitter, for people who are going to complain. So, like, I'd never heard of it being an issue, but apparently it is to some.
Well, you can't satisfy everyone, but I'm saying if you are going to change it, why didn't you just change it maybe? And it would have probably gone unnoticed or something. I don't know.
So basically, you're not going to get come on in, guys, anymore.
No more guys. You know, now it's just come on in. So
whatever. You should just see come on in, everybody, man.
Yeah, come on in, y'all. There we go. Y'all.
The big question is, why is Jeff so non-inclusive? But anyways, that didn't distract me from anything. So
like it irritated me because like this being my first intro into the show, and you guys are like, oh, dude, you got to watch Survivor. It's awesome, man. Go check this out. We're going to review this stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. And then, like, right off the bat, it's woke, and then you're pulling this nonsense. I was like, dude, it's like,
I don't like the word
on,
woke,
man.
by the way.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. And I didn't feel like it was... I mean, it was like a 5-second thing, so I don't feel like the whole series is like wokeness or something like that.
I would agree. You know, but the fact
it just seemed unnecessary.
It was absolutely unnecessary. And you're saying you didn't think it was anything, but they did it for a reason. Like they like you said, they did it for a reason. But it
was very short and quick.
Right.
So,
but they had a specific purpose for doing it. So, but anyway, at the end of the day, it didn't take away from the rest of the show.
Here's my thing though. Like you're kind of saying it's not offensive, but now you're getting overly offensive about the other way, right? To me, it's not a big deal one way or the other. So. Like you're getting upset people being offended by being offended by it, and I'm like, well, who cares?
Well, you're absolutely right about that. But the thing is, the fact that they made it a big deal, where they wanted to mention it a couple times on the show like that, to just make it this, oh look, CBS, we're CBS, and we're all inclusive, so we're going to change our words and all this. Like, dude, you didn't have to do that. He could have just said, like you said, he could just say, come on.
I would appreciate it if he just did that, but exactly. To me, but I don't know.
Anyway, back to the show. Well, I guess we're still talking about the show, but aside from that, now what I did like about Jeff, dude, like what I thought was freaking awesome is I love the guy's play-by-play. Like he's talking trash on people.
It's interesting that one tribe is struggling. Nothing up here, I promise. Okay.
We have them?
No, we're missing one.
They were all in 6 groups. What happened?
Like a yellow team, this is probably the worst outing in freaking in Survivor history. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves.
They can't even get in the competition because they can't find their paddles.
It's like, hey Jeff, we're right here. We hear you, brother. So I love the play-by-play in the show. I thought it was super cool how they do that.
I will say that yellow paddle did blend in, so it was kind of tough to see. So I get it.
Yeah.
And then there's another team, I think it was the blue team that struggled as well because as soon as you get in your boat, you have to like unhook the anchors, and there's one in the front and the back.
Yeah.
And the blue team just unhooks one.
But I'll tell you what's funny on that though, because Jeff, in the beginning he told them, hey, you need to jump on the boats and unhook your anchors. He helped the green team out because the green team got in the boat and he's like, hey, make sure you unhook your anchors. But he didn't help the blue team out because the blue team's dragging their back anchor, and Jeff wasn't like, hey guys.
Well, he said there's one in the front and one in the rear, and then
What's funny though is like they were paddling for what seemed like a long time, saying we're not going anywhere. We're not going. No one stops to think.
Why aren't we going anywhere?
Yeah, like are we paddling wrong? Like what? Like how is the water not carrying us forward?
Right. Why is the green team just zooming past us?
We're not going anywhere. And then finally, it's like I don't know if Jeff finally said something.
No, he didn't. Not until after it was done. After everything was done, he's like, hey, by the way, guys, you're dragging your anchor. Well, and then the funny thing is, like, one thing I didn't understand either, like, going into this, and you said it a minute ago, Josh, I guess a lot of times, it starts out like on a boat, and they've all got to jump in the water and do something, right? So if they knew this coming in, you would think, most people, I think, did dress for the occasion. Then you had the one girl just wearing that dress, wearing that, like, sundress and all that, and it's like, dude, if you're, it's like, you know.
All right. So the backstory on that is
we always wondered the same thing.
We wondered the same thing. Like, why do you go in there?
Some people be wearing ties, and you're like, what?
Right.
They're given like they're given options on what to wear, and kind of like they're supposed to dress towards their personality or their theme. Like so there's been like the business people and the students.
Why in the neurosurgeon in scrubs then, Ashley?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Right,
I don't
exactly,
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there is some kind of like production has a say in what they wear. So if she constant in her real life, if all she wears is sundresses like that, that's what they're going to make her wear.
Then they end up in their boxers later on, or bras or whatever it seems like. So
they do, yeah.
All right, well.
So yeah, we've wondered the same thing.
So that team wins, and then they get some.
Green team, I mean.
Yeah, the green team wins. They get Flint and a pot and a machete,
but no food.
Yeah, no food this season.
Yeah,
so.
Normally they get like some rice.
They
get rice.
Well, then they tell the other two teams, like, all right, now you've got to play another game just to get your items, right? So while green team gets to go hook their stuff up and start making their housing and all that stuff, you guys got to play another game here.
I think it's Savvy or Sweat. they get to choose between counting triangles on a picture, and it seems pretty complicated. Like there's probably more triangles than you think. It's one of those things we all seen on Facebook before or whatever. Or they can sweat it out by carrying buckets or pots of water to fill up these big, like 55-gallon
barrels.
drums or whatever.
Now, but it's, and one of the things too. So they were given 4 hours for whichever one they choose, but the savvy one, they only got one guess, right? They're like, you get one guess, or was it 3 guesses? I think it was one. I think they told them you only get one guess. If you get it wrong, then you're toast, right? So it's like, well, we only get one guess, then that's kind of crappy, right? So
they both teams chose to do the water challenge. However, it is only 2 people that can participate, and they have to separate and isolate from the rest of the group. So there's an advantage and disadvantage to that. You know, that one, they get to be the hero that, hey, I'm strong enough for the tribe, I can do this. And then 2, they might be able to strategize themselves as the duo doing that.
Right.
But then there's 6 on the team, right?
Well,
the other 4 get to like strategize without them.
Right.
So
what I thought was funny about this is the neurosurgeon. He's like, this is dumb because then you're isolated from the group and then you're going to be exhausted. So he's like, I don't really want to do it. And he's like telling the group, I don't really want to do this because of this. And he's like, but I'm willing to help the group out. And then like, oh, great.
Yeah, you're in.
They're like perk up and he's like, I'm willing to help the team out. And they're like, oh, good. You're doing it then.
And then he's saying to the camera, you know, like, well, I don't want to act like I'm not a team player. So I kind of
like a wuss here and like, oh, I can't do this.
So
right.
I do it, you know?
I don't think filling the 2 barrels, I don't think it's going to be that easy.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be...
And then we won't have...
I think it's going to be something where if you and I did it, we're just going to be exhausted afterwards, which I'm game for the tribe.
Yeah. Oh! Yeah.
Yeah, so, but yeah, no, that was cool. And, you know, of course, you know, for the blue team, you got the football player dude and then another big guy on their team who volunteered to do it. But,
and then during that one, they're like, we're kind of like alone. Maybe we should start looking for idols.
Yeah, well, football player and his buddy, yeah. Well, and that's the thing I didn't get either because, like, in the beginning, Jeff flat out told them, you're going to be isolated. Like, y'all can't interact during this thing, right? But then, what was his name? Nasir or whatever?
Nasir, yeah.
Yeah, so, but Nasir walks down to where they're at.
He's not talking to him, though.
Well, no, he's not talking to him, but he's just sitting there watching them, and he's like, hey, man, these guys aren't doing the challenge, man.
He's like, these guys supposed to be slaving away here. What are they doing? Looking for
hey, they're out looking for idols.
and he had told the group allegedly before, like, hey, no strategy talk where these guys are doing
We're
this.
We're not going to strategize. And then he comes back and he's like, I know I said we weren't going to strategize.
But let's strategize.
But let me tell you what's going on over there.
He's like, time to start strategy. We got to get rid of these 2 guys.
Yeah,
these guys are looking for idols. Like, well, what's funny
there.
is they're not looking for idols. So I guess, I mean, is looking for an idol strategizing? I guess it is. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
people don't like that.
Well, because they said it together. They're like, hey, man, you, me, we're going to live right. And because they talked about, hey, you know, let's you and me team up right now. We'll freaking, yep. So, I mean, yeah, they were strategizing.
And then as soon as those guys get back, they actually,
yeah.
There's even a debate whether they can complete, like, their task, but they end up doing it, and then they come back, and then, like, the women are like, hey, heads up, like, that Nasir guy's trying to, like, rat you out. He's trying to get you out.
And he's like, oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So what happened was, like, me and Eric are sitting here. And Nasir was like, no one's strategizing. Then he's like, I saw the boys looking for an idol.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I'm in shock. Did he really?
Yes.
So that was interesting.
Well, the one thing I didn't get about this, too, like watching Big Brother, for instance, like when people are strategizing and talking together, they've got their voices lowered. They're, like, really separating into different rooms away from people. These people are like strategizing right next to the people they're talking crap about. Like, hey, yeah, the 3 of us, man, yeah, we should get this person out and that person out. And you can see that their ears like lighting up as they're sitting there listening to them talk crap. And like, what are these people doing, man? Like, how
well, it is outdoors. There's a beach and stuff. So maybe their voice doesn't like carry quite as far as in the Big Brother house or whatever. But
yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, some people are careless about it. So
like everybody was careless about it. You know, from what I could tell, like they just didn't care.
Now, 3 people one person from each tribe gets selected, 3 in total, to go to this private area, and they don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. But they get there, and this is kind of like the first time they get to interact with each other.
This is all new, too, just for you being a first-time watcher. Like, there's so many layers to... Like, normally
it's like an onion. Just got to peel the layers.
Yeah. Like, normally it's like, you know... Whoever gets first, second, third of the tribe or whatever they get the flint, they get the rice, whatever. The second team gets like less rice, and then the third team doesn't get flint. They got to start fire on their own, something like that. And then they build the house, and then you go to the next or their shelter or whatever, and then they go to the first competition. Mm-hmm. Like all these little sub competitions, that's all new.
So what I thought was funny about the sub competition too, right? So they found out it's going to happen, and they're like, oh well, who are we going to send? Like they're like nobody wanted, for the most part, nobody wanted to go. They're like debating who were going to send for this, because nobody was volunteering. So finally,
in one group at least.
Yeah, in one group, yeah, and and in the other group, finally somebody, Xander volunteered, right, and then JD didn't volunteer, but they're like, hey, would you be willing to do this? JD's like, yeah, okay, if you guys want me to do it, I'll do it.
No, JD got the rock.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. They did that's right, because JD got the white rock. They did the black rock.
In true Survivor fashion.
Yep.
Yeah, and
That's right.
it's not that unusual for this to happen, actually, because they normally go away and then they normally get an option between food for the group or something special for them. That's what normally happens.
Right.
But in this one, it's a little bit different. They all are talking. They go to this place and they have this thing
they go on like an hour hike first, right? So they go on this hour trek together. So
to get to know each other.
To get to know each other. And it even says that in the beginning, right? They're that thing like, hey, start walking and get to know each other while you're walking.
Then they have like the prisoner's dilemma kind of scenario where they don't know what the other person's choosing. They get to choose either to protect their vote or risk it. And if they risk it and it plays out the way, like the other two people don't choose that, then you get like an extra vote. Unless they all choose that, then they forfeit their vote.
Right. If they all three choose risk, they forfeit. If they all three choose protect, then they protect their vote. But if one or two chooses protect and one or two chooses risk, then the people that choose risk get the extra vote, right? So they they risked it and got it. But and one I thought was interesting too is when that played out, it showed you what two of the people picked. Right, but then it didn't show you what JD picked till the vote, till the vote scenario. And I was like, are we going to see what JD picked? And then finally at the end of the vote, it's like, oh, okay, now we know what JD picked, right? But so that was kind of interesting how they only showed.
I think they did that because there's the option for the people to lie to their group or tell them what actually happened.
Right. And and Xander and the football player Danny, they told the truth.
Even though they chose different options, they told exactly what happened.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But the other guy.
So you get a little of everything.
What's the other guy's name?
JD.
The one that told the story that was just way too elaborate.
Oh yeah, JD. Yeah, that kid. Like I said, that kid's in trouble.
People are just listening to him and being like, what is he talking about? Like, no, I don't believe anything.
Ricard is like anti-JD, so he's like, I don't believe anything this guy's saying.
And actually, Xander didn't tell the truth. He lied because he said I protected my vote.
Yeah.
When
he said. I think he actually said he risked it, and people are like, that's smart. Because he's like, I got another vote for the group, is what the way he sold it.
Okay, because Danny said, hey, I protected my vote, and he did.
Right? So those two told the truth, where JD didn't.
No, JD made a bunch of bullcrap. Right? like even the way the game was played, he was lying about that. Like, oh, if two people choose this, and
I like the production who's playing the music in the background. Like it's this elaborate fairy tale story that he's telling.
Right.
It kind of is.
I did like what the pasture chick when she's like, she plays a song in her head when she's talking to people, and they did a little funny thing with it. Like, do.
Well, then it's funny too because she's talking about she's supposed to be a pastor, right? So, but then she's talking about, yeah, man, I'm going to stab people in the back here. I'm going to lie and scheme here, and all this. I'm like, you sure you're a pastor?
It reminds me of the Dr. Pepper Manamana song or whatever.
Right.
Manamana.
Right.
She's kind of creepy. I don't know.
Literally, I have a soundtrack that I hum.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool. I liked watching that, and I thought it was a cool little opportunity for those three. But then the thing is, at the same time, when they came back and they're getting questioned, it's like, and they're getting grilled a couple, and it's like, well, you're the ones that sent them,
that's true.
It's like, and the football player volunteered, right? But but it's like,
and that's the second time he had to volunteer.
Right, he had to volunteer exactly. But it's like you're grilling these guys, but none of you wanted to go, so it's like, come on,
Yeah, him and Xander, they're doing all the stuff.
Right, exactly.
So then they have the first challenge, this obstacle challenge with the puzzle. This is pretty familiar territory to Survivor. What'd you think of that one?
So I thought the challenge was cool. Well, and I liked how it was kind of like several challenges in one, right? It's not just get something from point A to point B. It's like get something from point A to point B. Then you got to unstack this and put it here. And then once you finally get everything to point C, the final place, then you got to empty out all the bags and put this giant puzzle together. So that was kind of cool.
And don't forget, these people are kind of exhausted because they haven't had food and stuff like that.
Especially the guys who just got done freaking Hollow Water for 4 hours, right? So,
now, you got these puzzles, so...
Well, first off, the blue team kind of jacks up a little bit because they're putting bags on this platform, but
his bag falls off.
Yeah, his falls off, and they kind of ignore that. And then Jeff realizes it kind of late too,
right?
And it's like, no, you guys got to go back. You didn't put all your bags on the platform.
No, Jeff didn't realize it late. He saw it because I saw Jeff look at it, and he just kept quiet. But he waited for the blue team to start going, and he's like, oh, hey, blue team, guess what? Go back. your freaking bag. So it was almost just like with the raft thing, right? When he didn't tell them that, oh, hey, by the way, you're freaking, dragging your anchor. When again, so I think he's, it's almost like I've seen him help other teams out except the blue team. Like best.
It looked to me like he noticed it at the end because he was walking and it happened like behind him. I don't think he did that.
Plays favoritism like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't be calling Jeff's integrity out. Come on, man.
Come on now. Come on.
What's up, Jeff?
So with the puzzle piece, this is where it like gets teams. Like the teams, there's usually
two people are selected for the puzzle, and that's where you don't want to end up, if you ask me, because if you lose, you get the blame.
You, right? Yeah. And that's what happens, right? So
and that's what happens is like at the end, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what happened with the bag, any of that. It's like you jacked up on the
puzzle. If you screw up earlier, it's kind of forgiven. But if you screw up at the end,
right. Especially when it's for immunity, right? So this is for immunity, right? This is gonna make our team immune.
So it's typically you get the egotistical people who will volunteer to do it. Otherwise, it's people just kind of assigned to do it. Right. But you have the egotistical people that will volunteer to do it. They're like, oh, I'm good at puzzles. I can do this. And then when they fail, it's like, you said you were good at puzzles. Like that's why we put you in there.
I would definitely hang back on the puzzling if you ask me.
Well, and the thing is too, because green team was smoking it. I mean, they had it going. Their puzzles getting together quick, and it's like, oh, what's going on? Because they left a couple pieces in the bag, right?
And blue team was the last to arrive to the puzzle, but guess what? They win.
Oh yeah, they killed it, man. They get that puzzle together quick. Well, but at the same time, blue team. Out of all the teams, blue team's probably got the strongest players on it. It's got the football guys, got another big dude there. So out of like having strength to be able to get that freaking thing up the ramps and all that stuff, blue team I think was definitely booking it more than the other teams were.
What is the football guy's name?
Danny.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Plays for the Cowboys or used to.
He used to play for the Cowboys. That's right.
So which is your team?
My team.
But you've been calling
America's
the football
team.
Guy.
Yeah. Danny. Well, because if I keep saying Danny, if I say the football guy, everybody's like, I don't know who he is.
That's true, because I don't know who Danny is.
It's his first episode, right? So.
All right, fine, fair enough.
Just like Josh keeps saying, neurosurgeon, because that
guy has a weird name.
Yeah, he does.
And I haven't got it down yet.
No, he does have a weird name.
Yeah, it's an unusual name, but
okay.
He's a neurosurgeon.
Great.
But so they do that, and then only one team wins immunity on this, so the other two teams have to nominate someone. So then they start having discussions about nominations, and my boy Brad ain't about talking behind people's back. They're like, what do you think, Brad? Who do you think we should put? He's like, I think you two.
You.
Like, I'm standing right here.
Right. Sarah's on the table, Shan's on the table.
What? Like, you're saying that to our faces? Brad is playing the game like they played it in 2000. Like, whoa, she messed up. She needs to go.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 of them together, probably 4 of them, and he's like, I think it's you two because you jacked up the competition.
Yeah, because they were all on the puzzle. Yeah, because they're all wanting to get JD out. They're talking JD, and Brad's like,
that's kind of his boy.
Yeah, Brad. Yeah, because Brad and JD kind of did a, we're gonna make it to the final 2 together, whatever kind of scenario. And not only that, but Brad's like, JD hadn't screwed up yet. JD's been pulling his weight. He hadn't screwed up. He's like, you two screwed up. So right now I'm looking at you two. Just flat out told the girls.
I mean, I like that, but it's probably not best for your game when you do that.
It's like, come on, Howard.
Because he's not on anyone's radar right now. So why would you draw attention to yourself by you singling people out? Now they're gonna be like, we gotta get rid of this guy because he's talking about me.
Right, exactly.
So that was kind of a mistake for him. I liked it. I like how he's being kind of honorable. Like, I'm say it to your face, but not the best strategy usually.
Right, exactly. Well, then then fast forward to where they're all actually sitting down to do the votes.
Tribal council.
Well, the other group's talking too, and they're trying to figure things out. So,
but they're more like.
Well, we were talking. We said, hey, we're gonna look at the same thing, keeping the tribes calm. I look at the first challenge we did. We jumped off the boat. Who was where? Who was doing what?
Yeah.
This next challenge, physicality was in there. I don't remember where she was at.
Yeah.
I didn't see her.
Cohesive.
Yeah, well,
and they're the first group to go up.
Yeah.
Well, you had Abraham, the cybersecurity guy, like kept wanting to hit Tiffany. And like, hey, I think we got to get rid of her. And he's telling everybody we got to get and I was like, dude.
And Tiffany's like the older. What does she do for a living? I don't know.
Was she a stay-home mom? I think she was a stay-home mom.
Something like that, probably.
But he was like, yep. We got to get rid of her. She wasn't holding
my
weight.
age. I don't like you calling her older.
I think she is like in her 40s.
She's like our age.
But Tiffany, they want to get rid of Tiffany because they don't think she's carrying her weight in the competitions. They think she's going to be a liability as far as the comps. Well, so that's one way to go.
Abraham says that, right? And he's trying to push that agenda on everybody. He's literally talking to everybody saying, hey, we got to get rid of Tiffany.
But people kind of like Tiffany at the same time and how she interacts with the group. So
exactly.
So you got to be careful when you start pushing somebody on the group that nobody else is really pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's like, well, if nobody else is really jumping on this train with me, maybe I'm not on the same train as
you
everyone
normally don't
else.
want to be the first person to throw a name out.
No.
If someone says, "Who do you think?" You'd be like, "I don't know. What do you think?"
Yeah.
And be like, "Oh, I could go with that," or like whatever.
Answer a question with a question.
No, but Abraham had a good point, and he was the strongest person on the team, right? As far as strength, right? He's a big dude, strongest person that team's got, and he was like, "Hey, I we don't have a lot of strong people on our team."
Was Xander on that team?
Was Xander on? Xander was.
Yeah,
he is. Yeah.
Yeah, Xander's on that team, so he's probably the strongest person.
Yeah, but Abraham's point is, well, yeah, I guess. And who did the water with Xander? Was
the
it Abraham?
neurosurgeon guy?
Oh, that's right, the neurosurgeon guy. Yeah.
So he's on that team as well.
Yeah, but Abraham's bringing up a good point. Like, hey, it's going to be a lot of physical activities here. We need to keep a strong team. Tiffany's the weakest link. She's not strong, and she kind of blew it in the last, in the. What was he saying? Like, I guess she just like watched the paddles float by or something. He's like, she just sat in the boat and watched paddles float by. She didn't get paddles.
He's like, she could have moved the boat closer and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, okay, maybe.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean,
but at the same time, like y'all were saying, he's the first person to throw a name out, and he's pushing that hard on everybody.
And that tribal council that's being brought up.
Yeah, and I've never seen the show before, but even in my mind, I'm like, that's probably the smartest thing to do.
Right. He's a pretty smart guy and stuff. So I don't know. And I like what he says during tribal council and stuff.
Smart guys sometimes make dumb moves.
That's true. So,
I mean,
a lot of these like surgeon people don't end up too well.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because Jeff's like saying something about the odds, and the neurosurgeon kind of corrects him with like the exact number. Like, I've already done this.
16.7 or whatever you said. Right.
Statistically, I mean,
everything up if you draw that 17% shot and you're safe.
16.7. Thank you.
So. Yeah, I mean, they end up voting out the cybersecurity guy.
Yeah, Abraham leaves.
Mm-hmm. Did you think that was a surprise? And he's like, I was completely backdoored.
I'm like, backdoor, dude, it's episode 1, man. Like,
they got to get rid of someone, and you're one of the biggest voices, so that's, makes you vulnerable a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he should cut his mouth shut.
But I thought the interesting thing is the next group's up. Mm-hmm. And then they're talking about, like, how it should play out, and there's a lot of discussions happening, and I was like, I don't even think I've seen that too much. I mean, people are running around.
I love how Jeff calls this out in tribal council because he's having a conversation with
JD, I think.
JD, okay.
JD and Brad,
I don't know anybody's name. But he was having a conversation with him.
He's like, is this concerning to you? He's like, yeah.
In the meantime, like, it's just a Jeff and this guy conversation. Everybody's over here talking about
like the three people on the other side that JD's on are like having a private conversation during this.
And then one of the thing is
Sarah is like one of the main ones.
Right. So the focus was on Sarah, and then who was the other person focuses on in the beginning? But then, like, with all the stuff going on, and Brad said something.
It's kind of between Sarah and JD. And then it kind of shifts to Brad during this.
Well, that's because Ricard gets up, because Brad said something, and I guess it rubbed Ricard wrong, so then he gets up, and he's all whispering in everybody's ear, let's vote Brad out. And it's like, dude, get out of here, man.
So what you hear is, like, three people kind of confirm we're good on Brad.
Right, exactly.
While JD's kind of talking.
And Brad's listening and hearing this, and Brad's like, what have I done? Like, what the heck are you going to vote for me for, right? And then JD's like... And then JD, and then like JD and the pastor chick talking, and it's like she's almost like on board with voting Brad out, and
because they had like a three-way kind of deal, like to get rid of Sarah. So this is now very dynamic. It's like you don't know if it's like Brad, Sarah, or kind of JD at this point.
And really at this point, I want Ricard gone. I'm like, I don't care. Those three can stay.
And this
Ricard
is where JD goes
up
and he finds out him and Xander find out that they have an extra vote.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yep. And
so I thought that was very interesting just because of all the you didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
I really thought Brad was in trouble
so
here.
Did I. Yeah.
And I was like, that sucks because I'm kind of for Brad. I like his style.
Right.
But
no, and I'm glad he stayed, man. I mean, personally now, dude, I think Ricard is just, I think that dude's drama. I think he's like a drama queen. They need to get rid of that dude, man, because
he is a lot of drama, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what his thing is against JD. He just doesn't really like him.
Yeah, he doesn't like him.
He like looks for things on him.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like man,
those
Ricard brings nothing to the table. It's like just get rid of that dude. Man.
Those types of relationships only get worse throughout the season when they're looking for something that they don't. If you just don't naturally like a person for whatever reason, that only escalates.
Yeah. I mean, JD's cocky, but he's young. He's 20. He's a 20-year-old cocky kid, so it's kind of understandable. But at the same time, he's very personable, right? He likes to talk to everybody, and
I think he just stands out because he's so talkative, right? And people, it's bound to rub some people the wrong way.
Exactly. No, exactly.
But that was interesting because they do the votes, And then I think the first vote comes out actually Ricard. And I was like, well, that's kind of surprising because I don't think he was up. And then it's like Sarah.
Well, you know who it was that voted for Ricard. That's Brad. Guarantee it was Brad.
Then it's like Sarah and then Brad. It's kind of between Sarah and Brad at this point. But like it comes up like 4 people vote against Sarah, and she's the first one voted off the island.
Yeah.
And that's kind of interesting. And I'm glad to see that because I didn't really care too much for her. And I mean, she was one of the puzzle people that is blamed for losing the competition or whatever. So. But I didn't like how she was trying to turn on my boy Brad, so that's why I didn't really like him.
Oh, Brad's your boy.
He's one of them, yeah.
One of them.
I like Brad. He's probably him and I think him and JD are probably my 2
I
favorite.
like Brad, JD, Xander, and Danny.
Danny, him. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who do you like so far?
I don't know any of their names.
Well, who do you like?
I don't know. I haven't.
You gotta find someone. You gotta latch on to someone to make it interesting.
Somebody where you're like, yeah, kind of.
I haven't in the first episode.
Well, that's not good.
I know.
Yeah, you're behind.
I know. What do I bring to the table here today?
Well, right.
Not
much.
much.
Booked you off the island.
I mean, I was really tired when I watched it, so I probably just wasn't in the right mindset.
Well, it's not going to be Abraham. I'll tell you. Or Sarah.
Abraham and Sarah gone.
So I don't know. Normally I've had a rough week. Okay, I wasn't very like.
Now who do you want to see gone right now? Like for me, definitely Ricard on the yellow team. I want that dude gone.
Okay, which one's Ricard?
He's the flight attendant.
Yeah, the flight attendant dude with the older guy with like the grayish hair and and
no surprise there from Billy.
Drama queen dude, and he so that dude he's
because he's the one who questioned.
That's right, exactly.
Come on in, guys.
Come on in,
Come on in, guys.
The term guys,
gotcha.
It's like you're
noted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, him. But it's not because of that. It's because the guys have been causing drama in his team too, right? It's like, dude, you don't need, the team doesn't need that crap. Get him out of here, man. And what is he bringing to the table? He ain't bringing nothing to the table. So you're right.
I guess. I mean, I don't know as far as I haven't latched onto a personality yet, but as far as what I do know of these people, I'll root for the neurosurgeon because I'm in healthcare. So like, sure.
I don't mind him too much. Yeah. I mean, so far, I haven't seen too much besides the.
I mean, like you said, typically
I did like how he was thinking, I don't want to do this, and then they're like,
but then he was still a team player about it anyway, right? Because I mean, granted, for selfish reasons, because he was like, I can't tell them no, I don't want to do it because then they're gonna vote me out, right? So, but I don't have any issues with him. Yeah, he's cool. I like. I'm trying to think of anybody else I really don't like at this point. I think really just Ricard at this point. That dude needs
well, it's good to have someone to not root for too, I guess. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's really rubbing me.
Historically, the people I don't root for are the ones that win. Or the ones that I specifically don't want to win are the ones that at least make it pretty far. So.
Well, you're neutral. You're not choosing anybody.
Right now.
That's right. You don't have someone to root for or against
right
at this
now,
point. Yeah, is there anyone that you don't like?
I'll go with Ricard, too.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to throw out a name. I'm just going to jump on the name that was thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, I'll bring my. I'll be more prepared next week. I'm so sorry. I know.
Unsatisfactory.
I'm sorry. Worked a
What
lot
about
of
you?
doubles
Who
this
you want
week,
to see booted out of here right now?
I don't really have any distaste for anyone right now. I mean, Ricard does rub me wrong just because I'm a fan of JD and he's trying to get rid of him, so I don't like that. Sarah's trying to get rid of my boy Brad, so I was glad to see her go. Yeah. So I don't really have anyone that I'm rooting against. I'm just rooting for people at this point.
So I gotta say, not that I'm gonna say I'm rooting against him, but I'm not understanding y'all's love for JD. Like there was
he's young, energetic, he's entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like he's
cocky,
gonna make
right?
The cockiness I think is gonna be his downfall.
He thinks he gives God's gift to women.
Well, he was saying he was nerdy, and he looked pretty nerdy from the past pictures. So
yeah, but then when he said he was nerdy back in the day, he's like, but now look at me, I'm all sexy and cool now, right? So.
Yeah, that's kind of funny to me. But
yeah, right. I mean, he's cocky. He's typical.
But he's kind of funny because he's like, I'm sitting here
on
the boat with my hair waving in the winds, and I look over and there's two people with better hair. I like that.
I like him, man. I mean, he's cocky, but he's funny, and he's energetic, and he's a people person, man. He likes to walk around and talk to people, so. He's so of course they've been focusing.
And I like he essentially bailed out Brad, I think.
Yeah,
because he's like, they were going to vote Brad out, and then he talked and kind of like swayed it with the pasture, girl, and he's like kind of like
pastor, not pasture.
Yeah, pasture.
Okay, whatever.
It's like the fourth time. I've let it go. I can't let it go anymore. Pastor, not pasture.
But So I mean,
sorry.
Gee, you're gonna correct my pronunciation of crown next or what?
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no. So yeah, so I like JD. I think he's good. You know, he's definitely entertaining. You know, and especially in the first episode, you need that. You need a couple people that are entertaining to just get you involved in the show, right? So
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it.
Next week, I'll bring more deets.
That's right.
I hope so.
I'm gonna get kicked off next week
Because we ain't just have
We're
you
gonna
here
go
to correct,
tribal council
correct
and
my
I'm not gonna make
pronunciation
it.
of words.
That's right. Yeah,
I'm just the grammar police here.
All right, everybody. Well, that is week 1 of 26 for Survivor. And hey, I like
his voice is
yeah, it did crack a little bit. Survivor. Yeah, but week 1 of 26
Week
down.
1 of 20. There's not 26 weeks.
Yeah.
26 days.
Well, yeah, but it's going to be shown. But it's going to be shown.
Nah, you messed up, man. You just messed up.
It's going to be shown in weekly increments.
I messed up on pasture. You messed up on the weeks.
I'm thinking week 1 of 26. I'm looking forward to 26 weeks.
We're only going to see one a week, though, right? So it'll be 26 weeks, right?
This is
6 days. There's 7 days in a week, Billy. I hate to break it down for you, man.
Oh, y'all are right. Yeah, because this one was 4 days. No, because this one.
But it's 26 days.
No, this one took the course over 4 days. Yeah, this one took the course over 4 days. So, this one took 4 days. So how short is this season going to be on TV? Like it's going to be like 8 episodes or something. I mean, how's this going to work? Yeah, I don't know. Hey, whatever, man.
Terrible recovery. Terrible recovery. But whatever.
Right. We'll fix this in post. We'll fix it in post.
I'm good, man.
I'm the one drinking here.
I admit to my mistakes.
I'm the one drinking here.
Let's just say, let's start with, all right, guys. Yeah?
Yeah, come on in, guys.
We can't say guys. Dang it.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, that's our discussion here of week 1. I had fun during it. I don't know if you guys did, but you know,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right. Good.
I was obviously distracted and tired.
more importantly, we hope you guys enjoyed it, and I guess we'll see you next week for the next weekly episode of 4 days or however many days the weekly episode is going to cover.
But we'll see if Billy figures it out.
You do your math homework, and then we'll check back next week.
Well, maybe I need to ask a neurosurgeon to help me out with this. All right, everybody. Hey, hit like and subscribe if you like this, and if not, that's cool too.
If it's not, hit like and subscribe.
Yeah, we want you to subscribe and like. I mean, crap on Billy all you want, but we appreciate the like.
Do the math in the comments for us. I mean, we can't seem to figure it out.
Somebody hook us up with that. Yeah. All right, we'll check you guys later.
See you guys.
Bye.
What a disaster of an episode. What a crap show.
That was awesome, man. That was good. People are going to laugh, though.
Xander.
I did the little thing. I don't know how that works. Xander.
My mic is on. My mic is on. Look at my mic. Look at my mic. This is my mic. Look at my mic.
Whoa. Big brother.
No. Survivor.
Hey guys, welcome to the Geedunk. I'm Josh.
We ain't ready for that game.
What are you?
Josh. He's just Josh.
Just Josh.